All right, so today we're going to be doing mono white taxes. For those who don't know what this deck is and does, is it basically tries to force your opponent out of the game by playing creatures that do some pretty mean things, such as Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, making their non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. And then we also run things like Leonin Arbiter, so that way people can't search libraries unless they pay 2 to ignore this effect for the turn, which makes Field of Ruin and Ghost Quarter basically strip mines, or makes their fetch lands unusable. And then what we got in Zendikar Rising is another tax piece Archon of Emeria, which makes it so that way people can't cast more than 1 spell in a turn, and non-basic lands our opponents control are going to enter the battlefield tapped, meaning they're going to be losing out on mana. Then to protect our stuff, we've got Giver of Runes. And to help us close out the game, we've got Stoneforge Mystic to go grab pieces such as Maul of the Skyclaves, which has ETB equip, and then +2/+2 flying and first strike. A Sword of Fire and Ice for the card draw, damage, and pro red, pro blue. And a Batter Skull because who doesn't want a 4/4 lifelinker? And vigilance. Then we also have removal in the form of Path to Exile to just exile a creature. Skyclave Apparition is another new thing that we got in Zendikar Rising, which allows us to exile a non-land, non-token permanent that we don't control, which has CMC 4 or less. Most of the time, this will be on threats that we just can't really deal with, and we'll shrink it down. And then we also have Flicker Wisp as a way to protect our stuff by flickering it out and then it comes back, or as a way to remove some of our opponent's things. It doesn't do so much to remove opponent's things, more as it does combat tricks to keep their stuff dead. And because almost all of these are creatures, we're running Vile. That's the rundown of the main board. Now we get to go over into the sideboard here. We've got Phyrexian Revokers, so that way we can name some Planeswalkers or things like Goblin Charbelcher. We've got Mirran Crusaders for the Jund matchups because pro-black, pro-green is good. We've got Winds of Abandon as a way to exile more things, just more creature removal, and it also has Overload, which is very useful when we can use it. Rest in Peace is just graveyard stuff. Declaration in Stone, again, removal piece. Celestial Purge, again, removal. And then 4 Forge Tenders for pro red and a way to prevent damage from red sources. That's the quick and dirty rundown of the deck, and I'll see you guys in some matches. We will gladly take the play. Hand doesn't do much. It's got lots of fun things, but it didn't get anywhere. We can keep this. We'll bottom the Apparition and see what we can do. We'll play out the Giver, pass the turn. Yep. It would help if I could hit letters, couldn't it? Here we go. Rot Farm bounces. Okay. So Ghost Quarter here is looking pretty good, unless we hit like Arbiter. So we'll go with this Stoneforge, and then I guess go get this Batter Skull to start beating down real quick. And then we have the Path. So we can Ghost Quarter their Rot Farm. Because, yeah, that's happening. And then Sanctuary picks up. Yep. So that you can go ahead and Ghost Quarter. It's not phenomenal, but it's not awful. We'll hold up Path in case we need it. Else we'll be putting this Batter Skull in on the end step. So 3 mana, second Dryad. Sanctuary, bounces Forest, plays Forest. Plays Forest. Okay, so they've got 6 mana next turn. Which means we're probably about to be staring down good old Big Baddie. Flicker Wisp, huh? So we can't play it. Put a stop on opponent's turn. It's got Vigilance, so we might as well be swinging. Yes, they could technically group block. They wanted and they don't. Upkeep, we will... we won't do anything. We'll wait until they play the Titan. Because I'm assuming Titan's coming down here. Lots of land drops. So no Titan. Hands empty. I'm kind of okay with pathing here. Path. Yes, it ramps them on the other side. They don't have anything anyway. And this gets rid of 2 Dryads. Upkeep, draw. That's a real good draw if we can ever get another land. We can go this. Do this. Give it pro green. Combat, get in for 4. I mean, we can swing with the Stone Forge, but it doesn't do anything. We go up to 28. Opponent's down to 11. Amulet, sure. Well, that kind of makes our Archon not so great. Have. That's good. Germ token, you're going to get pro green. Combat, this germ token's going to get in there. Dryad, sure. Okay, land. So Archon here makes it so they're dead next turn. I mean, no, it doesn't. They've got the Arboreal Grazer. This, target the germ. Germ gets pro green. Combat, swing. Opponent goes down to 3. They can't cast more than one thing, so they need prime time off the top here. Okay. They get the prime time off the top. They'll have plenty of Valakut triggers. I'm assuming it's probably what? One Valakut, one. Okay, gets those. Untaps, untaps, and then bounces something. Can give their prime time. +2/+0, vigilance and haste. They can swing. Prime time can go and get Valakut. I don't even know what they get at this point. They're at 3. They need to basically ping off both of my givers here. And they don't. So we win. They're at 5. They don't have a way to bounce. No blocks. We take 6. We flicker the grazer. We give our germ. Oh, they have black as well, though. So they can double block the zombie. This Path the Titan. Titan goes bye-bye. They don't have any more basics. It's interesting to me. Yeah, because now we go pro green, pro black. This flicker wisp. Oh, I can't play more. I'm stupid. Well. Undo, undo, undo. Begin combat. I forgot what my own stuff does because I'm not used to playing taxes. Arboreal Grazer can block. It does indeed do so. They go down to 1. And we pass the turn. Opponents at 1. They get Crumbling Vestige. Neat. I'm at 32. Do you want to concede? Because the lands you have don't do any searching. Okay. Begin sideboard. We're facing... God. Okay. We're facing... Crusaders don't seem terrible. Especially considering how all their threats are black or green. Other than that, what this is... They can get basics. Exile, they investigate. Black or red, not good. I don't think we need more removal. Like, the apparitions kind of seem mediocre in this matchup, but so do flicker wisps. And these are creatures, right? Creature, creature, creature. Okay, so we don't have any way to deal with artifacts. other than the apparitions, so we'll keep those and take out the flicker wisps. Like, Dahlia's not amazing. It's not awful. God, I just don't know how to board with this deck. Or especially against what we're playing. I think we'll shave one Flicker Wisp, one Thalia. That's probably wrong. This gives us, like, they don't play a lot of non-creature spells, but at the same time, we don't really want to be flickering their things. Sure, we'll submit. We're up a game anyway. We can change later if we decide to. So hand's got all of the stuff the Stoneforge could go grab. This hand just doesn't do anything other than search. We can kind of sort of keep this, bottom that, bottom Wisp? Sure. This way, if they have a amulet hand, we have the Skycleave. Or Skyclave. If not, are they about? They're going to just go hard ramp. Wow. That's impressive. Upkeep, we draw a Vial. Not bad. Explores. Growth Chamber bounces the Forest or the Vestige. So we're staring down 4, 5, 6 mana. Blah. That's a turn 3 prime time. Well, you wanna know how you beat a turn 3 prime time? Turn 2 Arbiter. Okay, Vial, we will uptick to 2. That'll allow us to go searching with Stoneforge by paying to ignore the Arbiter. Because we can do that on their end step, and then we can put in whatever we're doing. Yeah, there's a castle. Ignores. So prime time's coming down here. The lands that he's getting are going to be entering tapped. I can't flicker. So we let them get whatever they want. It's probably Field of the Dead and something, and then we get to Field of Ruin, their Field of the Dead. They won't be able to search. We don't have an answer to the prime time because Skycleave doesn't hit it. Yep. So they get Field and then Fun card. That. We'll go ahead and ignore Arbiter effect. Play a Vial. Do that. Stoneforge. Mystic can go and grab Between the three, what's good? I mean, the 4/4 lifelinker just helps. We will uptick Vial to 3. Then we will draw. We draw land, which isn't great, but at the same time, I really can't let you have that. Bop, bop, bop. I'm assuming this is a Dryad of the Elysian Grove. And then they're gonna pay. Oh, they're going for the Pact. Okay. What are we grabbing? A second prime time. That is greedy. Needs an untapped red and an untapped white. Problem is primetime puts them onto the battlefield tapped anyway. They get Valakut and Cavern. Interesting land choices. And then they swing with those. Yep. They've got enough mana that we are blocking with this Arbiter at this point. But Jukabog exiles our one card. Cool. We'll block a zombie. I want to keep the Apparition for if they play out ever the Dryad. I don't want to just get blown out by a Valakut and Dryad combo. Problem is we're dead to these prime times. This, we draw Arbiter. Card's bad at this point. Do that, we draw a second Stoneforge. Can put Batter Skull into play so that way we can gain life so we're not just dead. So they have to pay for, they gladly do. They've got more than enough mana in the world. So they apparently only run one Field of the Dead. They Summoner's Pact, go get Dryad, I'm assuming. Yep. Dryad comes down. Yes, Skyclav. Remove the Dryad before you get your attack triggers. Target creature gains double strike until the end of turn. Okay. Venus still loot. I can't skyclave that. So you swing out, that's what, 18? Just want to see what lands you're grabbing with prime time here. Because we can block. We gain 4, we go to 15. We block 4, we go down to 1 here. I just want to see what we're gonna draw. Never mind. I blocked stupidly. I needed to block there. Sorry, my creature actually dealt damage. Because, yeah, I would have been at 1. So we would have drawn Ghost Quarter. We'd Ghost Quarter one of their 2 Valakuts. It doesn't matter. Okay, we just need them to not have turn 3 primetime again. Yeah, we'll keep this. It's got Giver, it's got Arbiter, it's got Arbiter, it's got Thalia. Kind of just says, how about no, opponent? Hate it when it doesn't auto scroll. Yep. This. They don't run many fetch lands, but they do run a few. Cruel Turf bounces their forest. Makes sense. What do we hit? They discarded a prime time. We'll go ahead and play out the Sword of Fire and Ice. Not because it really does much, but because I don't want Thalia making it cost more. And we're just holding Giver back as protection. They explore. Rot Farm picks up Forest. Dismembers our Giver. I'm gonna go ahead and give this pro black. Just in case they have another dismember. They do not. Land off the top there is pretty dang great. So they've got what? 4? Arbiter. Equip to the one that's not summoning sick. Hit for 4. Cool, we draw Stoneforge. Odds are they're not searching. That's a field, explores. Can play down that forest that they have in their hand. Has 3. Can play out a Dryad, sure. They lose? They lose. Cool. Vesuva. Field of the Dead. You still lose. Path. Thalia. Combat. There we go. We are not 5-0 with this deck. My bad, I forgot to reset that. But that was game 1. So we're now 1-0. Let's see what we can do. I mean, we don't know what opponent's on. It's got a bit of everything. We'll try it. Plains Vial pass turn. All right. Hollowed Fountain tapped is what we like to see from our opponents. That's a fun one. You, this, that. Thalia. Pass turn. Stoneforge Mystic. Opponent. What'd they get? Batter Skull. Okay. I'm not opposed to fielding here because it gives us access to double white for all of these cards. So we go ahead and we do that. And let's swing for 2 because first strike, they're not going to block anyway. Let's see how we can do. And they have a Field of Ruin. Are you going to field my Ghost Quarter? Okay. Okay. That's nice. So if we apparition the Stoneforge, we can't activate our Stoneforge, but then they can't put in their Batter Skull for a bit. That sounds fine by me. Okay. All right, we're facing mono white. I really don't know what we want in this matchup. Do we just have a good enough main board plan? Like it's not. I said we're facing. No, we're facing blue white Stoneblade. And our removal, we really only have deck instead. I mean, we can bring in these Revokers to name like 3 mana Teferi and 5 mana Teferi. That doesn't sound awful. At the same time, I don't know if we have anything that we want to take out. Like, this all just seems good against them. We didn't see a lot of graveyard shenanigans. I'm going to go ahead and assume this is more of a tempo blue-white Stoneblade than it is a control blue-white Stoneblade. And we're just going to run it back. So this hand's got all of our tax and search pieces. That seems pretty good to me. Colonnade enters tapped, so it's definitely more control than it is tempo if it's running Colonnade. We will go Plains pass turn. Misty. Okie doke. This, try to land down an Arbiter. Hope our opponents have 6. I doubt they are. Looks like they are not. And they have the Spell Snare. Unfortunate. They opt. They like what they saw, so they kept it. Just force them to have removal piece after removal piece. Okay. Containment Priest. That's an interesting one. So this is Cryptic Mana. Stoneforge, they can't Cryptic it. Say yes, do... I guess it's Skull again. Swing for 2. They can't animate the Colonnade. They can flash in and double block. Is that really what you want to do, opponent? Okay. That really is what opponent wants to do. First strike and then normal damage. We lose our Thalia. Sad face. Okay. Delta. They don't really have anything. Field of Ruin's a funny one. Activate Stoneforge, put Batterskull into play, Living Weapon, and Giver. Mystic Sanctuary puts Opt on top? Okay. Field of Ruin, they can field or field. Detention Sphere. Okay. Detention Sphere exiles the Batterskull, makes sense. Funny thing is, this non-creature... This is a non-token creature. We're fine with this. We now Skyclave the Detention Sphere and get our Batterskull back. Unless they have exactly Remand here. They didn't have exactly Remand. How unfortunate for them. So they seem to be flooding out, which is unfortunate. Play this. You this. Arbiter. See if opponent wants to field now. They don't. Which makes sense because they can pay and we can't. Skyclave. to bounce their priest. And this costs blue, white, 1, 2, 3. And it's a 4/4. Okay, they're gonna put down the shark. Makes sense. They can block. Blocks there to get a 3/3 illusion. And so you don't get the card, you know, opponent, right? Hmm. They have one card in hand. I mean, this is just flicker shark swing out, right? Archmage's Charm. Okay, you gain control. I still have access to the bounce. Swings with a 3/3. They field our field. We're 100% okay with this. Opponent has 0 cards in hand. What can we do? 1, 2, 3. We can bounce or batter skull. Or just equip. Just equip. Equip, swing with the 6/6. Stoneforge, sure. Now we play sword. Play out a batter skull, sure. Okay, what can we do? Can we win? They're at 5. They have a blue and a white creature. They have blue, white, and black. We don't have enough mana to... So this saves us 1, 2 to equip. I mean... Yeah, we can do this. Because we flicker there, we flicker the skull. Or actually we flicker the germ token. Then we give our creature pearl white. Because they have no cards in hand. This pearl white. Cool. There we go. Taking it 2-0 against Blue-White Stoneblade. Let's go. 2-0 in matches. Like, this is a question of how good is Stoneforge Mystic and Arbiter? And how good is Apparition? We'll try it. Snow-covered plains past turn. Verdant Catacombs. This makes me feel like they're very... I still want to get this Stoneforge down here. Stoneforge, I believe it's still Batterskull this early. So let's see what they are. Okay, probably Jund. My guess of Jund is still what I'm going with. I'm not familiar with the Jund versus Taxes matchup. There's a Foothills. They go ahead and they crack it. And they shock in. Let's see what they drop here. Red, green, Goyf. Brennan 6. Still a card I really don't want them having around, so we can Skyclave Apparition that. Especially since we drew another one. You that Skyclave. Go away, Renin 6. They have a Foothills, but they're not doing anything with it. Pretty great for us. This. Let's go to combat. Let's see if this apparition gets to get in for 2. It do. How nice. Arbiter. I'm assuming this gets fetched in response. Yep. Talia. Okay. So we've got 6 next turn, plus either Batterskull or Apparition, depending on what they do. Okay. Red, black. Thought seizes. Okay. And I'm assuming it's probably take the skull. Yep. When it goes down to 9. Play out the canyon. Go ahead and draw ourselves another card here. We draw the Maul. I like Maul. Except I can't play Maul. Because it costs 1 more mana. Thalia. Hit for 6. One goes down to 3. Neat. God, this taxes Deck feels real strong. I like it. Bloodbraid cascades into Pyromancer. Sounds good. They play out Pyromancer. They pitch 2 cards. They make 2 dudes. They've got a board state and a half, and it does not matter because Maul gives flying. What black creature do you have? Yeah. Yeah. Thalia says no. Maul equip there. Swing. Cool. So we're facing Jund, meaning we want these Crusaders, most definitely. We want this Purge. They've got a lot of creatures, so Winds and Deckenstone don't seem terrible. 6 cards that we want to bring in. What's not good against Jund? We can grind. We don't really need the vials, I think. Take out vials, take out a giver. I mean, that's gonna most of the time just eat up one of their kill spells. A giver and a wisp. Most of the time, Jund's not really playing more than one creature, one spell a turn. But they do run Bloodbraid. So Archon would stop that. I don't think we need that much removal. We'll just bring in one of each. Go 5 for 5. We'll see if this is wrong. So, hand's got a giver, hand's got a Stoneforge, hand's got a Mirren Crusader. We'll try it. It's Jund anyway, so they have the turn 1 Thoughtseize. What? No turn 1 Thoughtseize? Neat. Giver pass turn. Yeah. Go ahead and fetch. I'm gonna play tapped. That's interesting. Red bolt, sure. Overgrown tombs, tapped. Okay. This ghost quarter, white 1, Stoneforge. Get Batterskull, because Batterskull's a threatening card. Black 1, Lily. Yeah. Down ticks. Yeah. We'll sack our Stoneforge. Winds of Abandon. Go ahead and do this. So that way we have double white. And they no longer have double black. Not that they really need it at this point, but hey. Doesn't hurt. Each player discards a card. Sure, I'll discard a path. We've got plenty of removal. Ren and Stumpy. Gets back a Foothills, plays Foothills. So we can Apparition, remove a Lily. Not a terrible line. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Interesting. I guess that's what they had to grab. And no, they could have grabbed another Blood Crypt if they have it. Anyway. Has Lily? Of course. Why would they not have second Lily? They make a 3/3. They get Blood Crypt back. They play it out. Makes sense. They've got 3 cards left in hand. We're not in a great spot against Jund, especially with that. Arbiter. Ghost Quarter off. Double red. Again, doesn't do much because of Renin 6, but hey. I don't really think. Yeah, Jund is really good right now. And it's not a fun matchup for... It's always a very thinking matchup. So yep, they get the land back. Each player discards a card. At this point, we can go ahead and discard Winds of Abandon. Man. Thought intensive match. Let's see that Bloodbraid Elf. Brutality, -2/-2, and gets to eat our path. Great. Gets in for 3. Upkeep, we draw an Archon, meaning we can only play out this Thalia, which just gets eaten alive by the Lily. But... we're really just waiting on the Jund player to draw the Rets. And we need to draw lands. Okay, they ping it. Makes sense. I forgot that Renin 6 even has that mode. But yeah, that kind of sort of is exactly what you should do with Renin 6. Then and forces me to discard. I'm never getting to 5 mana, so we'll go ahead and discard the Batter Skull. Opponent's got 1 card left. Is it a Bloodbraid? No, it's a Pyromancer. Pretty good. Digs them a bit deeper, meaning that they might be able to find a win condition. Hits us for 3. We go to 14. We draw nothing great. Yep. Each player discards a card. Sounds good. Archon seems better, even though they're not going to be playing many things. Second Pyromancer pitches Renin 6. Makes sense. Not like it matters what we do at this point, because like if we play out this Archon, they just go down tick on Lily. We take 5, go to 9. Next turn, we're dead. Yeah, we lose. There we go. 3, 5, 7, 8. And we're even gonna just draw the Thalia. We're dead if they realize to make us sack with a Lily and they ping us with a Renin 6. Instead, they ping our Thalia. Opponent, you had the kill. If you don't kill me this turn, I'm going to be sad. We discard Bloodbraid Elf? Opponent, your damage is lacking by 1. Okay. Goes for the collective brutality win. So they had the win in 3 different ways. They could have done the sack Lily route, ping us with Renin 6, swing with what they had on board. They had the do what they did, play out the Bloodbraid Elf, cascade into something, and kill us that way. Or they had the way that they chose with the keep bottom of Stoneforge. The way that they chose with the collective brutality beatdown. Or collective brutality when we're at 1 for the win. Let's hope we can draw some lands this time. Okay. Do they have the turn 1 Thoughtseize? Fetch and shock and Thoughtseize. Do it to me. Inquisition. Just as good. I don't know what you take. Like everything we've got's pretty decent. They take the Stoneforge. Okay. That's not bad for us. So Thalia, now they can't do anything unless they have another 1-mana spell, like Bolt or Push. Waiting on opponent to do whatever they so please. Man, it's 1 a.m. Okay. So they shocked in an overgrown tomb. They're passing the turn to us. I don't want to field them. Let's see if we get to connect for 2. They go for the bolt. Okay. Bolt happens. Let's go ahead and get rid of that duel. Much more afraid of green than I am of red, because green is Goyf. I'm assuming that this is just gonna go get a swamp for them. And then we have Lily, which Purge can answer pretty well. Yep. Wooded Foothills goes and gets. What you gonna do, opponent? And fetch and shock. Goyf, that's fine. We have a Deccan Stone for that. We could also apparition that. Not opposed to apparition Goyf, because it still exiles the Goyf, which is the main thing. Sure, Lily downtick, make me sack. Sounds good. There goes our apparition. You get a 2/2. I'm much less afraid of a 2/2 than I am a 4/5. Land off the top here would be real nice. Not quite what I was hoping for, but that'll work. You cat cleric. Urge the Lily. Black red, what they doing? Brutality. Just to kill cat. Sounds good. We go down to 14, I mean. Let's draw ourselves another card. Giver's not awful. We'll play out Giver and pass the turn. I'll take 2. Running 6. Picks up a land. Yep. Plays the land. Doesn't shock it in. We'll go ahead and draw ourselves a card here. Path ain't terrible. We draw an Arbiter. That makes Path pretty nice. It just kind of says no. And we will pass the turn. This way we can give our Arbiter protection if need be. I don't know if we're gonna get there against this giant opponent. It's gonna be close. Because the problem is that they've got 5 cards in hand. Red and black. Black. Plague Engineer. Okay. Name's Cleric. Makes sense. King's there. Go here. Give it pro. We've got a 50-50 shot. It's either bolt or push. Assume push. They've got more of those in the deck. Okay. Ooh. Archon's real good here. It's worth losing the Arbiter. Jun just runs so many non-basics. Yeah. You ping the thing. I know. Of course. And now we're gonna get Junded out by those 2 planeswalkers. Down ticks. I'm forced to sack Archon. And then we take 2. We go to 10. And no matter what I draw at this point, I can't really get out of the Lily Wrenn and 6 combo. Man, what are those last 4 cards in their hand? We can do this to get rid of the Plague Engineer, but then we're still stuck with this Arbiter in hand, which is just going to be discarded to the Lily. Yeah, Wooded Foothills comes in. We each discard. I'm assuming they're probably going to discard that Foothills, because they really don't need mana. Throne. Okay. Interesting choice. I guess because it can block and regen. Ghost Quarter. Opponent dropped the GGs early. So either they have something here like a Blood Braid. I mean, there's nothing that we can have to turn the corner. Okay, so they've got a Goy. If they hit for 4, they hit for 8. They draw off of the clue. We each discard. I don't have anything to discard. He hits for 4, and then he'll hit for 8. So they've got it in the bag. Because even if we draw a creature, Lily has a down tick. So we lose to Jund. Probably because I didn't creep great hands. They also got exactly what they needed when they needed it. But, you know, that's the game of Magic. Sometimes you get varianced out. Opponent had... This was opponent's 5-0. So I can't complain about losing to a 5-0. We were 2-0 going into this, so I'll give them the victory clap. They turned him sideways. There we go. I'll take the damage like a champ. Give him his chance to get his screenshot ready. I'm just curious, what were we going to be drawing? Path would deal with a Goyf. Doesn't deal with 2 creatures. Thalia gets killed. Ghost Quarter. Cool. Yeah, we weren't ever going to get there at that point. All right. 2-1. Let's see how we can close it out. Yeah, we can totally keep a hand that's just Ghost Quarter for the lands, right? We can keep this. Bottom like field. Hope they don't have turn 1 discard. Okay, it is... Oh, what? Burn? Is that you? That's a matchup I wasn't expecting to run into tonight. Snow-covered plains, Vile, pass turn. Swift Spear plus Bolt. Swift Spear, Swift Spear. Okay, opponent. Okay. You get smacked for 4 across the face here. Reveals a Stoneforge Mystic. That we kind of got to play down Thalia here. Make their burn cost more. It doesn't really matter because they've got the mana to do it. Let me guess. They now have... Oh, they have the Seal of Fire, which will deal 2 to us, or 2 to the Thalia, and then we take 6. Yep. Then Bolt or Spike. Okay. So we go down to 11 and we're taking 8. We're going to be 1 burn spell from death. All right. Guide shows us path. Card does nothing. We go down to 3. They've got 1 card in hand. We can put in 2 blockers. That way we can go down to 2. This Stoneforge does not matter what Stoneforge gets, because Stoneforge, odds are, is not living to see the end of the day. We'll still grab Batterskull and Violin Arbiter. Pass the turn. We can block 2 things, or they have Bolt to our face. I'm assuming that Bolt's going to our face. Yeah. All right. Forge Tenders definitely wanted. Is this the one? Exile target creature for each creature exiled this way. Its controller searches for basic land. Okay, we want the Deccan Stone. So those 6 in. Archon's really good if we can get it online. Flicker Wisp is pretty awful from the aspect of it dies to any burn. And we'd mainly be using that to save our own creatures, which isn't what we want to be. It's burn. So we'll shave the arbiters a bit. I don't know if it's more towards classic burn or more towards Loris burn, because they didn't show us a Loris last time. Hand's got a turn 2 Thalia and a path. And Mystics. Like, not a terrible hand. Suspends a Rift Bolt. Thalia. Make that Rift Bolt cost some mana. If you want to play it. They do. Makes sense. We still stall them a turn here, and then they do Spike. Cool. Do that. Stoneforge, go get ourselves a Batterskull. Which is funny, because we can play that next turn if they try to kill our thing. Batterskull, Living Weapon. Second Stoneforge. What, do you have the Abrade? Has Smash to Smithereens. Sure. Say yes. Go get the Sword of Fire and Ice. Pass the turn. Do that. Put Sword of Fire and Ice in. Try to equip there. Show me removal. Just have it all, opponent. Really? Okay. As the second Smash to Smithereens. Of course they do. Play the land. Do that. Go there. And attack. Opponent's mana base is really hurting them. Which isn't terrible for us. Okay. Have Smash to Smithereens number 3. Okay. Opponent legitimately had Smash to Smithereens number 3. Like, what is that hand? Stoneforge, you may, we won't. Combat 1. Opponent goes to 10. Smash, smash, smash. I guess, and then they have Bolt and Boros Charm to finish me off. Oh, nope. Shard Volley. Shard Volley into Boros Charm. Okay. This has potential. Archon of Emeria. Begin, attack with all, keep giver back. Opponent's down to 6. Skull crack, I can't gain life. Sounds good. Show me one more burn spell. I'm just amazed that they had the triple Smash to Smithereens. Why on earth would you keep a triple Smash to Smithereens hand ever? Let's close that. We don't need to see what our sideboard is. We would love to take the play. I'm not a fan. Not a fan still, but it's got the vial. We can probably draw into some decent things. We'll put back a Wisp. Okay. Snow-covered plains. Vile, let's go. Mesa cracks it. Steam Vent shocks it. Soul Scar, okay. Meaning this Archon of Emeria is going to do a lot of work for us. Field pass turn. Let them grow this Soul Scar Mage as much as they want and then path it. Okay, Swift Spear into... I'm not a fan of Lava Dart. We got 19, we got a 17. That happens. Aether Vial. Trigger. Say yes. That's a fun one. Archon of Emeria. Plus Thalia. Hmm. A very fun combination here. They can play one card, and it has to either get rid of either one. So, blocking with this allows Lava Dart to kill it. No blocks. Worst case is we take 2 from this Swift Spear. I'm not afraid of taking 2. Okay, they Lava Dart the Thalia. Uptick Vial. That's pretty good. You this. Do like so. Does opponent want to try to bolt our Archon? Manamorphose goes for digging on our turn. Neat. You can't play another spell. And now we'll hit you for 2. Do that. Go ahead and cut them off of blue completely here. Spire, Bluff, Induce tapped. Soulscar Mage, sure. No need to Flicker Wisp. Do this. Always no to this vial. Always yield. Ghost Quarter. How nice. Let's go ahead and draw ourselves another card. A second Archon. I'm sure they've got plenty of mountains. But hey. Oh. What? Swing for 2. Only 3 basic mountains. Swings. I'll go ahead and activate. Put in Archon number 2. Nah. Not take anything. Or not block. Because this is hit for 4. Okay, they Lava Dart. Okay, Lava Dart 1 to reduce it into a 1/2. I like their line. I really have to put the trigger onto the stack, even though I've already said no and yield. Stoneforge Mystic comes down. Say yes. Do a maul at this point. Combat attack with all. Hit opponent for 3. What, you gonna flash back a Lava Dart so that way you can kill off this Archon? That's what they're debating. The funny thing is, when they go for the final Lava Dart to kill off one Archon, we just flicker the Archon. Okay, they're going after the Stoneforge. That's fine. 2, 3, 6, 8. I mean, I guess they can technically put the... Or they can technically lava dart on our upkeep here. Okay, field. So they can... We can swing like that. See if they want to dart this Flicker Wisp away. They don't. They go down to 2. They need their mana too much. Cool. So we would put in Batter Skull if they go to attack, gain life. Draw Flicker Wisp. Okay, that's game. Okay, facing blue-red prowess. Forge Tinder, Purge. Deckenstone? I don't think we need... Actually, rips aren't bad. Stops darts, stops big dude. I don't think we necessarily need more removal, because these can deal with the big things. We can just kill off the little things. We've got 8 pieces of removal main board. As far as what we're cutting, it's blue-red. So they do enough fetching. They've got enough flyers that Maul's not great. We'll cut an apparition. This might be a matchup where Vile's supposed to come out. I don't know. Like I said, I'm no Taxes master, so I'm sure I'm sideboarding this horribly wrong. But hey. And turn 1 Giver, turn 2 Rip, turn 3 Archon. Sounds pretty oppressive to me. Never mind, that's a turn 1 Vile. Manamorphose for blue-red and then into the flyer dude. Yep. Now the question is a Sprite Dragon or Stormwing entity? Neither. Then why did we go blue-red? Rip. Lava darts us. Sure, we go down to 15. I'll light up the stage. Swift Spear and Entity. Neat. They fetch. They can get the Swift Spear. I don't know if they've got a way to play down this Entity, though. I mean, I know that they don't do it. Nice. Have our 1-2 block the 1-2. We go down to 12. Main end vial uptick. We draw an apparition. The best draw we could have possibly had there. Thalia. It's Archon here, right? It's Archon, hold up protection using Giver. They can play one spell. We can stop their one spell if it's targeting our creatures. Bolt sounds good. File, yes. Ghost Quarter. That's a fun one. Anyway. We can swing for the house. See if opponent wants to block. Opponent does not. Cool. First strike, then normal. Violin. Skyclave. Get rid of Soul Scar. And then we can cash those in next turn. Opponent doesn't want to play that game. All right, there we go. We got to tax people out, and that'll put us 3-2 with taxes. Deck feels really strong. If once you've learned it, I can definitely see how this is super powerful and people are 5-0ing with it. Spiders are really good. Brewer. I mean, taxes lists in general aren't too different, but like the Maul here, a very nice choice from the aspect of giving something first strike and flying evasion. That was a very nice touch. I think that was better for this mono white taxes than another sword. So I definitely think Spider's on the right track with this list. It feels extremely powerful, and I feel like I just misplayed a bit too much. But hey, you know, I'm not super experienced with the deck, so I can't complain. But that's where we'll call it.